Hey everybody, Neo here with the Geek Speak Show, New York Comic Con 2012. The coverage continues. With me to my right, I've got a very special guest, a very prolific voice actor. I have, what is your name, sir?
Bryce Papenbrook. What's up, everybody?
Bryce Papenbrook. Could you please share with the folks at home, what have you done over the years?
Well, a couple things I've done. Zidane Tribal in Final Fantasy. Uh, Maso Makita in Do Ra 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 Ra. And recently, I was announced as Rin Okumura in Blue Exorcist, Son of Satan.
The son of Satan, indeed. And for all the Tales fans out there,
Of course, can't forget about Tales of Graces. I am Asbel.
Asbel Lant is in the house. Wham, wham. All right, so Bryce, my first question for you would be, being that you come from a family of voice actors, yes, I believe both your mother and your father, they were both involved in the industry, and you started from a young age. Like, how was it? Did you, I guess, feel pressure to enter the voice acting industry, or did you feel as if like you really wanted to get into it because you had a passion for it because you saw your parents doing it?
It was more that I had a passion for it. I would go and watch my dad work when he was doing Power Rangers. We actually used to go, and all the rubber suits were there, and I loved just like watching him work. And I saw how much fun he was having, and I just wanted to do that too. I wanted to jump in that booth and just have fun, and I've been having fun.
Which Power Rangers in particular was it, if you can remember?
No, he did Rito Revolto. He was the skeleton dude.
Oh God, man! Every
And
time I think of Power Rangers, every time I always go back for Time Force. It's Time Force or Bust over here.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, this was like the old school, like original Power Rangers.
It's
way
Morphin'
back in
Time.
the day. Yeah.
Where's Johnny Young Bob?
Yeah, where's Johnny?
Yeah,
Oh,
Johnny,
oh,
get
my
over here.
brother.
Your brother, he's also in the show. So definitely it stems from you wanting to get into it because you had a genuine love for it.
Definitely.
That is really good, going to something you love. When it comes to voice acting, as you know, it's not really a set field you can sum up, since there's video games, there's cartoons, there are many different types of voice acting, particularly since you specialize in anime. What were some of the trials that you went through, seeing that the show is already recorded, the animation's already done over in Japan? Was it kind of hard for you to, I guess, adapt to the flaps, or did you have like a great director to see you through?
Well, it's definitely a skill that you learn. You don't start, able to hit sync and hit the flaps well. So it's always a process. But again, going back to my dad, I watched him and I kind of saw how he was in the booth and saw the way that he was hitting sync, and he was amazing at it. And I kind of caught on that way. And when I jumped in, I just sort of, it was just sort of in me. It just worked out. But now that I've been doing it for years, it just feels like second nature. I've had so much practice at it. I can jump in there and I feel comfortable.
Just get in the booth and then, worry about what happens next later.
Yeah, the great thing about voice acting is if you mess up, they'll delete it and you'll do it again. And that's usually what happens. They go, oh, that was terrible, do it again. So,
All right, I want you to say this line, but say it for me 6 times in a row, and then we'll choose the best one. Call you back in tomorrow, and then you do it again.
that does happen. I think I've had one time I said a line 100 times, just because, and I think they used the first take after after saying it 100 times, and it was just something like, there's nothing you can do. I've said the line as many different ways as I can imagine, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. But and the recent things like in Blue Exorcist, the vibe I have with the crew is really, really great. The director, Alex, is just awesome. So I feel like when he tells me to do something, I get him. I'm on the same page as him, so we can get to where we need to be pretty quick.
So you can make like definitely a better dub overall if you feel like comfortable with the crew, if they're like more or less your family. You're on the same wavelength.
Exactly, and everyone, in the room with me, Oscars, the engineer, like we have a cool vibe, and Hiroe is from Aniplex, and she makes sure we stick close to the Japanese translation, but not too close where it doesn't make sense. So it's a great like adaptation of this anime.
Yeah, I've noticed it a lot as of late when it comes to anime. The scripting process over here in the States, not only is it getting done quicker, but they're really adapting it for the Western audience so it doesn't just sound like a literal translation.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference when the writing is done really well. Not only does it fit the sync better, and it's easier when you're in the booth, to hit that sync. But it makes a lot more sense. It's just like, why would they say that thing? But it could be like some small joke in Japan, but an American audience wouldn't necessarily get that.
Nobody would get it. It's sort of like how in certain cases, like something Shin-Chan, for example. You ever seen the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shin-Chan. That show has a lot of jokes in Japanese version that we necessarily here wouldn't get. So over here they turned it into the raunchy South Park.
Of course, yeah.
You just gotta make it work for the market. And the third question, since you have a lot of experience in industry, for all of the people who have been practicing at home, who've wanted to become voice actors, mainly probably because of you in the roles that you've been in or your father, what advice would you, I guess, give them if they really wanted to pursue it?
Sure. Never give up. It's a really difficult industry. I would say in my case, if I land one job out of 100 auditions, I'm doing really well. So you really just have to continue to move forward and continue to practice and learn as much as you can, and don't get discouraged.
That is very nice, and all the stuff like demo reels and all that stuff, and it's mainly like who you know in the industry as well, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Don't be shy. Get out there and meet people, and just hone in on your craft, and of course have fun with it. If you're enjoying yourself and having fun, it kind of comes through like in your performance.
Yeah.
So you really do want to just enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, have passion, getting the whole shebang, and then you'll worry about the throat injuries.
Yeah.
So you'll probably be sounding like, Rachel, I'm the Batman, I'm the Dark Knight.
Coming through.
Yeah, at the end of every session, it's like, either that or Batman. So, Bryce, I want to thank you so much for doing this interview with us. Thank you again. Comic-Con, I really hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, how you're going to be here. Thank you so much for here.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
No problem. This is Neo here for the Geek Speak Show. Bryce Papenbrook at New York Comic-Con 2012.